Today we're going for the Last of Us Platinum Trophy. And The Last of Us is one of my favorite games ever. I mean, honestly, my favorite game. There's a couple contenders for that, but The Last of Us has stayed number one for a long time in my life. Ever since I was like 8 and I played on the PS3. And I love this game a lot, and I've never even thought about Platinum in it because I always thought Platinum takes too long. That's just a lot of work that I don't want to do. And I've already Platinum two other games, Spider-Man Miles Morales and God of War 2018. Both of those not taking me very long. Spider-Man Miles Morales, I did like 3 days after I got the game, and the only reason it took me that long was because of the fact that I played the game 2 whole times and finally got the platinum there. And God of War 2018, one day I was like, I'll go for platinum. I only got 4 trophies left, those being collectibles and Odin's Ravens. And honestly, today that's kind of what we would have been doing if I didn't decide to 100% it and go for the grounded mode pack, or like I don't know what it's called, it's like a DLC pack almost, but it's free. They're not obviously not DLC, but they're just like little trophy packs. I don't even know what to call them, but it's on the screen now. And there's the extra. They're like extra trophies that you don't have to get for the platinum. And the only ones I had left were the grounded mode and grounded mode plus, because I'd played the online already. And Left Behind, we did do. I don't think I recorded it, but I recorded most of it, not all of it. But the trophies that I needed on the main game were all the collectibles, so the artifacts, Firefly pendants, comic books, and training manuals, shiv doors, optional conversations, Ellie's jokes, and obviously the platinum trophy. And this would have taken way less time if I didn't go for grounded mode. And I wish I didn't do that, because this could have been done so much quicker. And you'll see in this first episode how much grounded really just bullied me into the ground, man. It destroyed me. And this video is to show the first part of grounded, because I have decided to make it 2 parts, because oh my goodness, it would have been like hour and a half long if I included. Honestly, it might be 3 parts, not gonna lie. But honestly, this video is just to show the first part of my journey to platinum. Everyone knows that every Last of Us playthrough, campaign, whatever you want to call it, starts of us playing as Sarah, but we kind of all know how that happens and ends, so we're just going to skip over that because there's no combat or difficulty to this part. We started our adventure off as Joel Miller, which is his last name apparently, according to Google. And the thing I noticed first about grounded mode wasn't listen mode. I already don't even use listen mode that much unless I'm online, right? The thing about grounded is there's no HUD. I noticed it instantly after getting a gun. Just listen for a minute. And you may be thinking, it's not really that bad, because you can just click the arrows on your controller to see the how much ammo you have. But about grounded mode, like I said beforehand, you're dying in 3 or 4 hits, right? And the only indication of your health is like if Joel is like holding his ribs, and you have like a red screen for a little bit. But once you leave like a combat and you win, and you like, let's say you don't have heals, like you don't know how high of health you are, because that red screen goes away and all Joel is doing is holding his ribs. And when he sprints, you like, when you're in a fight, you don't like, I wasn't like noticing that, and I wasn't thinking about that because I was like too stressed about dying. And I think the HUD really like affected me when I was playing this game, because I never knew how low I actually was. Just a small reminder, I was going for all the collectibles and shiv doors in this, which the collectibles are Firefly pendants, comic books, artifacts, stuff like that. And I got all the comic books, all the training manuals, and all the Firefly pendants, but I did not get all of the artifacts. But what is weird is the collectibles trophy popped, and it said I had 140 out of 141. And I don't think I have like a screenshot or recording of me actually only having 140 out of 141. But the thing is like, I mean, I hope y'all believe me. But the collectibles trophy popped, but the artifacts trophy didn't. So that was kind of weird, but I took it. So, obviously I got the artifact in the second run through, but I'll show you why I didn't get the artifact. And there's one thing I want to say about the notes, which are the artifacts, and I think the artifacts are really good at showing like a story, like especially the sewer notes, the ones you find on the boat and in the sewers when you're with Sam and Henry. They're really good at showing, like, putting stories out there that you connect the dots between. Like, when we get to that part, I'll talk about it more, but I just think they're really good at it. This first part of the game was really easy. The part where you're with Tess in this initial part without Ellie and you're just going to get Robert, it was really easy. This, like, did not prepare me for what was up. Like, even the part where you're about to get to Robert and there's all those people between you and Robert in that little room he's in, you, like, at parts not that hard, you can stealth most of it, and you have to maybe shoot, like, 2 guys if you're just decent at stealth. And this did not show me, like, what I was going for. So we game ended Robert and went our merry way with Marlene. And this part is when we meet Ellie. And this, like, when we're with Ellie, the decently hard parts start coming up, and like supplies slowly start getting taken away from me. And something I noticed later in this playthrough, I don't even know if I noticed it in this playthrough, I might have noticed it in my second playthrough, that when you stealth kill people and kill people with like melee weapons and your fist, or like you're not shooting them, they're less likely to drop ammo. And I don't know if I noticed it in this first playthrough. I kind of noticed it, but I don't think I really like thought about it. Like, because I don't know why the game does that, but I think it wants to like take supplies from you, so you just can't stack them up. And this, like, it honestly kind of got to me because I was at like 2 or 3 bullets, and when you're low on ammo, like, they're more likely to drop bullets, it seems. Here, before we get to any of the big combat situations, or that just I really struggled on, we got our first shiv door, and on grounded, the shiv doors are not worth it. Like, they give you like 2 or 3 things. Sometimes they don't even give you full ingredients. Like, this one gave me 5 supplements and parts. Like, I didn't need that. I didn't need that at all. And something I didn't think about was I don't need to open all 13 shiv doors in one playthrough. Like, I've already opened that shiv door. On this playthrough, I already opened 5 of them. I don't remember exactly which ones those were, but you'll see that kind of comes to bite me a little bit for opening doors I didn't need to open. Now, here's the first combat area or scenario that you're forced into that I really, like, struggled on for some reason, because of the fact that you have to, like, play stealthy, and I already had no patience just playing the game for, like, 3 hours. Had no patience, and, like, I died, like, 3 or 4 times, but this part isn't, like, that hard, because you just gotta stealth and be patient. But after a little bit of a scare, we got through this part pretty easily. It only took me, like I said, 3 or 4 tries. And we came across our first workbench. And this is what actually made me have to take like an extra half of a run to finish upgrading my weapons. Because this kind of takes a long time. Like, honestly, this isn't that hard. You just gotta collect parts throughout your run and just, like, you don't really have to go out of your way to find all the parts. But it did take me like 3.5 runs just to be able to, like, get this achievement. So this achievement alone would have probably taken me like 3 runs, but luckily I had the grounded and grounded plus mode to look forward to completing as well. After this, I came across my second shiv door, and this shiv door I've already gotten before, but it does give you bullets, which is very valuable in this playthrough. And going straight into the first human encounter that really gave me struggles. Not struggles, but it just, in grounded you get less checkpoints. So every time I died, I started all the way back here. You have to go through two different encounters without dying, and honestly, it's not that hard. But like, if you get caught, then their guns hurt. Honestly, I'm gonna just let y'all watch this part and not edit it down too much. Oh, God. Alright. I think we might actually be good. Okay. There's a guy in the room with me. Oh my God. Dude, I'm so stupid. There we go. Okay. Good enough for me. And with that, we made it past this part without tests, and now we go straight into Billstown. Here is where we get our first modded weapon. And on this first run through, I did not know about like the infinite shiv glitch or the infinite like scissors and binding glitch. Basically, it's where you have two weapons, one modded and I mean they can both be modded, but one modded weapon and then another weapon, right? And when you pick the modded weapon back up, it gives you a full shiv and or a full scissors and a full binding, allowing you to make a shiv, and you can just keep doing that and constantly doing it over and over and over just to have shivs constantly. And I did do so on my second run through because I don't think it had been possible to have enough shivs to be able to open all the shiv doors on a run through like this. We got stuck in Bill's trap, but it gives you infinite ammo, so as long as you hit your shots kind of decently, you'll be fine. And got to meet the cutie that's named Bill, which was a fat W. We skedaddled out of there, and now when you're with Bill, you run into a lot of parts that are kind of difficult. Some of the only parts in the game, in my opinion, that are difficult that only involve an infected. And I'm just going to walk y'all through what I had difficulties with. I think this is the first time in the game I started to realize that conserving bullets isn't going to be easy. If I have to hit my, like believe it or not, swinging and missing is critical in this game. Like, clickers, obviously, if you miss, they'll grab you. And the hunters, or not the hunters, the runners are just brutal. Like, you miss, they grab you, they take like three quarters of your health, and you're one hit now. It's just, I'm telling you, those grabs are vicious. And after dying over and over and over, I finally got to this part without using any bullets. After this, we went into our next workbench where I upgraded every gun but the bow. Not fully, but a little bit. And because we didn't have all the tool levels yet, that doesn't really affect us because we eventually get them anyway. But right after this, you get the nail bomb, which I don't really use too much because it took scissors, which is for the shivs. And then we get into a big clicker. Not a big clicker. There's like 8 of them, I think. 8 to 10. And you can just sneak past them. You don't have to kill any of them. But the next part is where I struggled a little bit because it required like more stealth and patience, which is something I don't have. And it's not that hard. I just died a couple times trying to rush through it and got past it. And then after that, there's another thing of clickers, which you can just sneak by them. It takes like 10 seconds. That part was super easy. I want to take a moment to talk about the optional conversation trophy. According to Reddit, I know, not exactly the best place, the optional conversation trophy is a little glitched. Not the conversations, not the trophies itself, but some of the conversations. There's 2 that are glitched. The one where you're with the David guy and you have to talk not to him, but about the 2 dead bodies, and one at the bus depot, but apparently that one didn't mess up for me. You'll see later that I actually missed one at bus depot that's not glitched. So yeah, this part I thought was going to give me a lot of trouble because this part requires you to stealth, and obviously I'm not that good at it because I have no patience. Because you got to think, I've played this game like not hundreds of times obviously, but like 5 to 10 times before this, and I hadn't even thought about going for trophies. So like the fact is like stealth and grounded is important, really, really important. But I got pretty lucky here and beat it on my first try. I did really expect this to be a difficulty, but honestly, the rest, of this, when even when you go between the two buses and the kind of like 5 or 6 of them come at you, really easy. The next problem was in the school. The school, oh my god. This part took me like 3 or 4 tries, and I think this part really showed me that I can't be too stingy with my ammo, because if I am, I'm just going to get killed for it. Like, because the game, it does like to starve you with resources, but it does like to kind of give you bullets when you are low on ammo, like I said previously in the video. And it's just, you got to be careful about ammo consumption, and I mean even not using enough bullets, because if you, what I saw in my second playthrough, because I conserved bullets way better in my second playthrough, I wasn't getting as much ammo like back, and even though I had like 7 or 6 bullets in every gun, which isn't that much to be honest, I still was like noticing that it still wasn't giving me ammo, and that was really annoying. But in this school part, it took me a couple tries, and we got to the bloater. And the bloater took me 1 try. Genuinely, I killed the runners with a hunting rifle, and I just went right through this part. This part was super easy, because the bloater isn't really that hard. You just gotta stay away. The spores are kind of annoying, but I wasn't too scared about that. So we learned about Frank and Bill's strange love story and got to pushing this truck. This part was super easy. Another part where if you just use bullets, it's super easy. I got through it, I believe, on my second try. That's what's on the footage. So I mean, it's got to be on my second try, and it was super easy. I was gonna say something else about it, but I'm gonna drag out the video. Shit, this was super easy. Like, there was no difficulty here. Like I said, you just gotta use bullets. Like, you are 3 or 4 hits, and you gotta use bullets. If you don't, you're gonna die. And it's been a W so far. So with that, we conclude Bill's Town. Going straight into Pittsburgh, we decided to crash the truck we just got, get yanked out of it, and murder the guy who yanked us out of it ruthlessly. But that doesn't really matter. And this part, honestly, is kind of difficult because of the fact that they are shooting back. This part took me 3 or 4 tries. Like, honestly, it was a theme that most of them were taking me 3 or 4 times. To be exact, this one took me 3 tries, but right after this, you get the smoke bomb and the second set of tools, and the bookstore that's like directly after you get the set is very difficult. It took me many tries, but right before that, you do find another workbench, which I upgraded my shotgun a bit more and my hunting rifle a bit more. But back to the bookstore. The bookstore is ruthless, and I think that I was growing more and more impatient with this part, because after this, I'd taken a break between Bill's Town and here. I kind of had my patience back. Like, the next day, I was a bit better, and the thing the thing that took my patience, took everything out of me, was the conversations that you had to listen to. You had to listen to the hunters talk at the very beginning of the encounter, and after you kill the first 3 guys, you have to listen to another conversation if you want to do it in stealth. And this takes upwards of 30 seconds. With my little rant out of the way, I proceeded to die 17 times. Yes, 17 times. With a teen, a 7 with a teen. Yes. But after that, we got through Ellie's second set of jokes, which I don't have, like, footage of her first set of jokes, but they're terrible, so I'm not going to put you through them. Some of them are decently funny, but they are not the funnest to listen to. After this encounter, we run into our next shiv door, and we have to listen to another set of Ellie's kind of just terrible jokes. But we hit another shiv door right after that, but we didn't have a shiv. And the problem with this shiv door was there was an artifact behind it, which is one of the collectibles, and I was kind of mad. I wasn't that mad, to be honest, because I could just get in my next run through, because I had to play the game again. And honestly, this was a theme throughout the game, or throughout a couple shift doors, not the entire game, but throughout a couple shift doors. But those shift doors the ones past this that do have collectibles in it, I already had those collectibles from past playthroughs, so we didn't really have to worry about it from there on out. So after this shift door, we get another safe that gives another training manual, which is a big old W, and right after this, we have to listen to another set of Ellie's jokes. This is a fourth set in like 20 minutes of gameplay. I think if they, because the sets are, I'm so for real, are like 40 seconds to like 3.5, not 3.5, whoa, 1.5 minutes. Like, it takes so long, it feels like. Because they're just not good. Like, I'll listen to one or two of them here, but they are just not good, man. After listening to these jokes, we went up some decrepit looking stairs, met some lovely people, boosted Ellie to freedom on the top of this elevator shaft, and fell down a fucking elevator shaft. I was a little embarrassed from our tumble. I was so embarrassed, in fact, that I decided I needed some alone time without Ellie, and thought it'd be a good idea to reject her offer of climbing down and helping me out. After seeing the stalker, I decided it'd be a good idea to go back to Ellie and accept her offer and run away with the rats. But I manned up, killed all the stalkers, and died to the bloater at the end. And I didn't know, I hadn't played this game in so long. It's been 3 or 4 years since I've played this game, that you're supposed to wait for the bloater to come to you after you do the generator. You like turn the generator on after you kill all the stalkers. So this allows you to like run and not have to kill the bloater. But I did this 2 or 3 times until I remembered that's what you're supposed to do. So honestly, it wasn't that hard. It just took a little bit of time. After this, I found my next workbench where I upgraded the shotgun and the bow a small bit, promptly got drowned, and Ellie had to commit first-degree murder to save me. So after all this, I took a little break and went on to the financial district, which this part really, thinking on it, it's not that hard. There's max 10 enemies, and that includes the 3 that come out afterwards. There's like 2 guys in Molotovs. There's like, most of them don't even have guns, shit. But it is a difficulty. Like, I don't know what, I think my patience was actually really good here because of the fact that I hadn't like, I had taken a break between Ellie committing murder and here, and it just, you have to stealth this part over and over and over. And let me put it into perspective how many times I actually died here. Oh, get fucking oh, what? Oh my fucking god, you're still alive, big guy. Let go. Alright, we're ready to get. Okay, yeah. And yes, this doesn't look that bad. I only died 4 times. Come on, that's not that bad, right? But I had to stealth kill about 5 people before the 3 guys come in, and you're thinking, why don't you just not stealth kill them? But you gotta think, I die in like 3 hits. I have 4 whole bullets to my name, and the run that I actually did it, I bombed them and just shot. Like, I just fought with everything I had, and I made it. The run you're watching right now is the run that I actually won on, and it was a difficulty fighting. Like, I was locked in. Like, I wasn't talking. I was locked in here. I was trying my hardest. And like I said, bottles and bricks were the way to go. You could get an easy melee hit in them because a lot of times they hit you because you're locked in animation. They hit you before you can hit them. So it's just, man, it was just hard. I think it was the fact that I had to kill um, all of them one at a time, stealthily. And this part on my second playthrough was a lot harder because I was trying to conserve bullets for a certain part that comes up later in the game that I would like to speak on when we get there. So I have, like I said in the beginning of this video, decided to divide this into two, maybe three parts, but the third part would be very unlikely. And if you do enjoy this type of content, I plan on having a lot more videos on this channel about like my journey to a certain goal of mine in video games. And one I've been working on for the past month, like on and off, so like not that much realistically, is getting to round 100 in Call of Duty Zombies for my first time. And I've been attempting it on Shadows of Evil, Black Ops 3. So, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, but I have taken a break recently, and I've gotten back on it. So if you do enjoy this type of video of like a journey to something, feel free to subscribe and like this video. But if you don't, I completely understand, and just make sure to have a good day.